Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Banshee and me, Oberon. And this is my outlook on the emotional exchanges, my weekly reading for each sign of the Zodiac. I pull a unique card from the tarot. I also do a collective reading, and I've been doing that with the Enchanted Tarot because I like to look at the affirmations, and possibly we will do those at the end if they're easy enough to do. So we're going to do that right now before I go into any more things here. And of course, remember, this is Super Tarot Love Month, but in fact, tarot readings, card readings, and the like are for entertainment only. We are not medical experts, legal experts, psychological, or in any other way an expert that can prescribe or give you information that is 100% guaranteed. We can only read the cards and tell you what the trends are, what things look like, and hopefully help you yourself through your own thought processes regarding that. Okay, now that we're done with the standard disclaimer, which I pull out of the mothballs once every blue moon, I'm going to do the collective reading from the Enchanted Tarot by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And we have the Six of Wands. Let's pull that right up there. And I love the cards. They're always so beautiful. It's sort of like a tapestry collage style. And naturally, of course, like all of their wonderful divination sets, oracles, tarot, they have a book or a way of explaining it. They have many wonderful things. Look them up. Anyways, the Six of Wands in general is victory. Victory is approaching. Have faith that you will win. The spotlight is upon you. Accept this time of recognition and growth as you have triumphed in a difficult situation. Don't I know that? Things will work out favorably if you persevere in a time of crisis. Remember to use this victory to make a firm foundation on which to build future successes. Include those who have been of help to you in your celebration. So now I'd like to suggest the enchantment that is suggested for the Enchanted Tarot. And I'm just going to read it, and if you can possibly do this, I think it's a nice thing to do. Make a wreath of laurel or ivy and hang it above your bed along with a piece of paper on which these words are written. Northeast, southwest. I am victorious. I am the best. Keep these symbolic tokens from the full moon to the next, reciting the words on the paper each morning and night. So this is a little bit of a longer term affirmation, or dare I say it, spell. Then burn them and strew the ashes along the four corners of your residence. Now, of course, we can adapt this if we are out of season and cannot get a hold of any ivy wreaths or laurel. We could possibly just do something with colorful paper cut up and drawn together, you know, like some sort of paper macrame. Or we could just go to writing the spell very beautifully on a piece of paper and doing the affirmations. And then, of course, burning the ashes one way or the other and spreading them around. And, of course, if you live in an apartment building, you have to be discreet about it or come up with maybe a symbolic way of doing that. But I think that's beautiful. I'm going to repeat the incantation again. Northeast, southwest. I am victorious. I am the best. And of course, for those who know, that's one way of invoking the quarters around a sacred circle. Some people start in the north. Some people start in the east. It doesn't matter. However you choose to do it, if it's right for you. So that was our collective reading, as well as a brief affirmation, something to think about doing. And I'm going to go ahead and put those cards aside. And we're going to start with our regular reading. And all month long, Super Tarot Love Month, I've been using the Final Rose Tarot, a beautiful gold gilded, pink and red toned symbolic tarot of mostly the kind of kitschy game show, the Bachelor thing, the Final Rose show. But the cards really do stand on their own for readings. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And like mentioned before, this is one card uniquely for each sign of the zodiac. So let's do that. Let's get started. Let's have our pull right now. And I'm back to pulling the decks into 4 cuts and working with the emotional, the elemental energies of that. So I cut the decks from left to right, as in air, fire, water, earth. And so I pull them that way, but I pull them astrologically in the order of the zodiac. So the first sign we pull for is, of course, Aries, and that's fire. And Aries has the reversed 3 of flutes, which is also the 3 of cups. So it's reversed. I'm trying to get that in the picture there. Do I have that the right way? Yes, I do. It's reversed. The 3 of Cups reversed. At the bottom it says, here to make friends. So this is saying for the Arian, there may be some friendship foibles this week. There may be some misunderstandings or some crossed feelings. This could be about messages. I know Mercury is no longer retrograde, nor do I believe we're in the shadow or for much longer. But it could just be indicating that this might be in terms of some sort of party or circumstance where maybe the misunderstood words handled. I sort of get a feeling of that. So sorry about that. Try to consider, reapplying yourself to the situation. I think this mostly pertains to a close relationship, maybe the primary, but I don't see it as being exactly that. Usually when you're involved in a primary relationship, you're going to work that out a little sooner, I think. There we go. I should put it right about there. Okay, that's my best spot for it. Okay, so then I move to the earth signs, which would be Taurus. And they have the 10 of flutes or cups, also reversed. Taurians, it says the proposal. I don't know if that can be literal for this deck and for the meanings I want to apply. But this could be saying that in general, Taurians may really be feeling a huge disconnect or change in primary relationships that may extend to just more than the immediate circumstances. I mean, it could pertain to a family that's connected to the primary relationship. It could very well be a great unhappiness or a great change in the status quo. So I'm sorry about that. It looks to me like it's something that will need serious, tender, loving care. So then we move to the air signs. What is it with these reverse cards? Oh dear. It's the Lovers reversed, the Major Arcana 6. And the Lovers reversed for the Gemini. Well, Geminis are binary or, double type signs. They have sort of a dark side, a light side, or correlating sides, perhaps. And so I think this is saying really that within maybe some of our most emotional and serious and considerate relationships, there too, what is it? Is it something to stars? Maybe it's Venus. I don't know. Did Venus go retrograde? I think I heard that actually. How interesting. I'll check on that later. But with the Lovers reversed, it may be feeling that for Geminis, they may be feeling or being drawn to bad choices. They're not, like the commercial says, you make good choices. So you may have some considerations over where relationships are going, and you need to be very careful that you do work on the right choices, that you don't choose the necessary immediate results for the long-term payoff. And of course, this may be very general. It may apply to just the most general relationships. You have to really dig in kind of to see where it may actually apply to your own relationship. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the water signs. Another reversed card. And it's the Six of Rings, or the Six of Pentacles reversed. It says quality time. Six of Pentacles. A lot of that to me is talking about the sense of victory, the sense of generosity. That's where the quality time comes in. But it's reversed, and maybe it'd be saying that really there's been some rebukes. There's been some instances where people feel like they don't want to be generous, or that their generosity is being spurned or being taken for granted. And I said this was Cancers, hopefully. It is for the Cancers. So there's a little bit of some bad feelings going on for some of us Cancers here, who are feeling that they're not appreciated enough for their generosity, or they're feeling like they need to receive more of somebody else's generosity, and they don't know why they're not. So that's not very cool. Moving back to the fire signs and Leo, and we finally get an upright card. It's the Two of Rings, the Two of Pentacles, and I love the balance elements there, the two hearts weighing against each other. It says the final two underneath. And I'm thinking for Leos, maybe to some degree, this is kind of like a stabilization we're feeling of our love life, or our deeply romantic aspects about ourselves. Even if we're in, open or polyamorous relationships, there's this sense of things stabilizing. And I'm wondering if maybe, there is something going on in the stars, and that maybe some of the fire signs are having a better sense of that. But this is the first actual upright card, and we are in our second round of the elements, the first fire sign. So it just may be something about Leo. Leo tends to be a little bit more lucky in certain ways. So I'm thinking that's a good thing. So Leos are maybe luckier in love mostly because they feel things are kind of solidifying, foundations are being formed. So then from Leo, we're going to move to the earth sign Virgo. And Virgo gets the Knight. I gotta remember where to place this. The Knight of Rings. That's the Knight of Pentacles. It's upright. So Knights are movement. And of course, rings are the earth element, just like Virgos are. So I'm thinking that Virgos really find themselves in their element, because they are moving slowly but with good progress. They're not doing forays out there like the swords might or the wands might. They're sort of just saying, we are working with our plans. We are working with stable elements, okay? And we are moving. It says the late bloomer underneath there. We are moving because we are cautious in a way. So Virgos, of course, they're cautious. So I like that. I like that for Virgos. Moving towards your love, or towards, solidifying romance too. So then we are back to air signs. And the second round of air signs, we have Libra, and things are suddenly turning out much better for us. We have the Two of Cups upright. Cheerio, it says underneath. And, you know, that's the idea of, you know, things are just working out. And I think for Libra, you know, a sign of duality, the Two of Cups, maybe you're really feeling like you are moving into a strong emotional component in your life where you are feeling perhaps like maybe for the first time in a long time, if ever, or just in general, this is a foundation for you in a sense. This is really moving you towards a sense of a relationship or love that you can appreciate. Libras tend to not be cautious so much as just maybe look at things really differently than a lot of the other signs. I don't know if it's that whole uh, introspection stuff, that weighing stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not qualified to actually speak about that. Let's just say that. So it's a good sign though for Libras. So from there we move to the water sign, Scorpio, which is my own sign. And more twos. Woohoo! More twos. Two of Cups. And it's upright. Underneath it says self-elimination. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's the 8. Excuse me, bad eyes. It's the 8 of Cups. Because we just had the 2 of Cups. Self-elimination. And of course, in the 8 of Cups, we normally we see somebody deciding to leave on their own, self-elimination. And so for Scorpios, it may be a sense of that too, that in terms of romance and the emotions, we might see that there's something different awaiting us, or we may feel that it is just really time to move on in certain respects. And this may speak about specific relationships in a Scorpio's life, but probably more likely it speaks about just emotional attachments in general we have to others and or situations. Getting personal, yesterday, or Wednesday rather, was my mother's funeral. And there's a great deal of closure that was involved with me emotionally for that. I don't see myself really as walking away totally from that. Actually, I see myself walking towards a new consideration and understanding within the framework of the family that I still have. It's more complicated than that. But it could be like that for other Scorpios right now. You may be moving towards something that really is compassionate in terms of the emotions. So then from water, Scorpio, we are moving back to fire, Sagittarius. And we have the Ace of Flutes, the Ace of Cups reversed. And underneath it says the first kiss, but it's reversed. So Sagittarians, you may have felt that something was opening up in your life, or that something is opening up in your life romantically or in terms of relationships or things that really are pleasurable and sensual. But maybe you're feeling there's a little bit of a delay getting it going. Maybe you feel like something about this, if it's a relationship or if it's a situation starting up, that it just has some problems getting going, that it may take a while longer. It may be that the first kiss is going to just take a little bit longer. Sorry about that. So then from Sagittarians, we move to the Earth sign Capricorn. The Six of Cups reversed. And with the Six of Cups, it says butterflies. And of course, butterflies might be one of those things that we associate with childhood pleasures, you know, skipping through a field or down a street and we see a butterfly hovering around. And of course, butterflies are often meant to be symbolic of our actual souls, our persona from a deeply inside kind of component. But it's reversed. And it's in the Capricornian field here. I mean, we're talking about Capricorn. So it could very well indicate that for some Capricornians, the past is still present and that there are still some things that are beautiful or perhaps more bittersweet that we're sort of stuck with. It could just be as basic as a previous relationship. Maybe it's the most previous relationship, or maybe it's the one that up until now in our lives has been the most worthy and significant. And it looks to me like maybe, you know, it possibly didn't end well, but there was still this sense of something like a beautiful butterfly that hovered nearby, a sense of the spirit that was still there. You know, if you're lucky enough, you may always still feel a little bit of love towards a person that maybe you were deeply involved with before. I don't know if I feel exactly that same way about everybody that I've been in love with, but I think there's a person or two like that who just, despite how it may have ended, there's always still a sense of love there in a way, you know. So good luck with that, Capricorns. Now we are moving on to the air sign Aquarius. And it's the Five of Flutes reversed. And I dared to show it because at the top it says, well, it says something. Whoops, let's get that over there. There it is. My orientation's so off with this. Sorry. So, it's the reversed Five of Cups. And it could be saying that really, once it's reversed, this is actually better for Aquarians. This is an acknowledgement that sometimes you did really need to consider other people. You did really need to think about who was there for you. And this could be beyond, like, you know, primary close relationships. This could just be in your general friendship zones. You know, that people, maybe they're even relatives or they're coworkers, they're anybody really you were really close to, but maybe there's a sense that maybe you took them for granted in certain ways, or maybe you didn't realize they were there for you when you needed them. And, you know, that's no super harm. You can move from that back towards that good part once you realize you did that. You screwed up. So then finally that takes us to the water sign Pisces. And Pisces has the Eight of Rings reversed, also known as camera guy. So I kind of like that. And the Eight of Rings is the Eight of Pentacles. So the camera guy reversed is kind of like, well, he wasn't really doing everything he could have. I mean, the analogy would be that the camera guy's supposed to be a little bit intuitive with the director and getting to pick up some of that, you know, spontaneous stuff on camera. Well, to me, that's kind of dangerous in a way. But let's apply it back to the general idea of the reversed Eight of Pentacles and say that in terms of love, we, the Pisces, we need to consider how we really are applying the skill levels, I think. This is about a skill, camera guy, and it's also about, you know, how we're applying our skills and how we're applying basic tenets to our search for love, our search for stable relationships, our search for good relationships with all our friends or close people. So it may very well be that with this Eight of Pentacles reversed for the Pisces, this is saying we need to kind of brush up on how we're applying what we know towards relationships in our lives. That this is not a time to go way off kilter into whatever it is, drama, trips, whatever. I'm not going to get into stereotypes. This is time for us to really kind of get back, because otherwise this is happening. This is maybe the misapplication of how we're handling our relationships. So Pisces, or nobody wants that. So that's my emotional exchanges for this week, and I want to thank you for being here. We'll see you again next week. Don't forget to watch Banshee Show on Sunday, The Material Matters. Also tomorrow will be the happy hour at, I believe it's at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but you can check that out. And also too, we're going to try to get that Modality Matters, the modality, the monthly modality message, because the sun is moving into Pisces. It's actually today. So It kind of puts a context on a lot of this stuff here too, you know, the whole idea about moving into a period that's more associated with emotionality. So that's it. Thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you next time.